I'm just doing a little test of the 360-degree video with my new DJI Osmo 360. I sort of can't go past there, so I'm hopefully recording in panoramic mode, but it'll be a good test to see what the video quality looks like, and etc. Okay, now I'm walking down gravel lane, which is an old track, quite a history behind it. It's in the village of Alderton. I'm just recording this to see what the quality of the 360 video is like, and how compatible that is with the editing tools that I've got on my laptop or my desktop computer, because I'm going to be using the Power Director 365 to make some 360-degree video. I've one or two issues lately with video not really being 360 degrees on YouTube or Facebook. Anyway, this is just a little test walking through the countryside. I'm sitting here in Old Winkles, which is a little cafe in Market Harborough. I've just ordered a cup of coffee and some toast and scrambled eggs. I'm just walking down Memories Lane to remind myself of places that have been special to me. But Old Winkles used to be a regular haunt when I lived in Lebanon. Audio at a distance. There's quite a lot of wind noise. It might be interesting to see whether they've got an adapter that handles the wind. It's really quite loud, the wind now. I can see that the audio is going quite fast, quite big. I'm just about to go into Quaker's Yard, which was where Thomas Cook used to live in the 19th century, and it was where he was living when he got the idea for setting up his travel company all those years ago, which was a social enterprise. So this is what Quaker's Yard looks like today in Market Harborough. Just having a panoramic view round. It's a wonderful part of history of this quaint town. I'm standing outside the Harbour Theatre, which I've had many years of happy memories of with their local drama group. It's in a wonderful spot. It's right next door to the Harbour Grammar School, the old grammar school building, and I've had some fantastic memories here. Unfortunately, I'm getting a running commentary from somebody working on the building, but this is the ticket office, which wasn't available when I was in this drama group. This is the pub that played quite an important part in my life, on a Christmas party with asthmatic staff, and they got a cracker with a plastic wedding ring in it that gave me the idea for proposing to my wife. This is Market Harborough, and across the road we see Cooper Estates, which is where my ex-wife Carol's sister used to work, and I remember giving her a call, giving the opportunity to buy the White House in Lebanon. I'm standing in Rugby Close opposite the house where my mum used to live before she had to go into independent living when she wasn't able to look after herself. But this was her property with a little shed and some memories of visiting her every evening, and also taking her out to the Three Swans for lunch on Saturdays, and sometimes to Old Winkles. I'm now walking along the old railway track that I used to take my Newfoundland dog Floyd for a walk every morning. This was the railway that originally ran from Market Harborough to Rugby, and it was closed, I think, before the Beaching Acts, probably in the 1960s anyway. So this is a bridge, and I'm just turning to look at the Lubbenham Village Church. It's a beautiful little village. I used to take Floyd for a walk every morning here, and if I was doing a play or a musical at the theatre, I used to do rehearsals. I was walking and learning my lines, or if I'd got a dance part, I would dance with Floyd, who was took it all in his stride, really. It was a beautiful dog, lovely big Newfoundland, about the size of a bear. He could stand on his hind legs and put his paws on my shoulder. So it's a beautiful dog. So I'm walking now down the path from the old railway line, and I'm going to walk towards the church and just have a little wander around to see how things have changed since I was living here many years ago. I always remember when we used to walk along here, there used to be sometimes a cat that became quite friendly with my dog Floyd. But we're going to just walk along to the Lubbenham Church. It's a very old church. A lot of history to this church, because it used to be the church that the royal family went to. So there is actually a box and with seats that were reserved for the royal family. And the other part of history of Lubbenham that's really quite fascinating is the fact that the Grand National, that most famous of horse races, wasn't started at Aintree. The Grand National originally dated from Lubbenham, this village, and the family that lived in the house the other side of the bridge, they organised the original Grand National. So I'm now walking along the road towards the main road that links Market Harborough to Lutterworth, and I'm just carrying on recording because I want to show you this very old and interesting property that's got a fascinating history of its own, which I'm not altogether familiar with, but I have been inside the building and had meetings with the owners for a project some years ago. But this is a fascinating building. This is the White House in Lubbenham. That's where I used to live and where I used to have my offices, just on the Rose Tree, the converted barn. That's my offices for my company, which is called Mass Mytech. So I'm now just going to walk past the property so we've got a good idea of what it looks like from the outside as we walk along the main road. You can see it was actually several cottages that were joined together, and it had a beautiful garden which was not so overgrown as the one that is now. And that's the house that Jack built. It's the opposite side of the road. I'm now walking down School Lane, which is down the side of the house of the converted barn that I used to run Mass Mytech from. So you can see along here we had an upstairs office which we used sometimes for seminars and events, and I had an upstairs office, but mainly I was in the office part of the building that I'm walking past now. And along here, this is the back of the neighbouring property. So every day when I did my morning walk with the dog, I used to walk along here. I'm standing outside the Bell Inn in Gumley, which is where I used to go for lunch on Saturdays very often with my mum. It's a lovely old traditional pub. There's some happy memories of having lunch and evening meals there. I'm just having a look round Great Glen, which is the little village that we used to have our first home. The first house I ever lived in, or first house I ever owned, was 38 Cromwell Road, and this is the village of Great Glen, which is just south of Leicester. And so I'm just going to walk along the village green to give you an idea of the atmosphere here. The building that I'm walked away from used to be a pub. It's now a house, Brown at Great Glen, and I've got some memories of that pub as well, having a meal there, and it's a wonderful village. So this is Great Glen. I'm standing outside what was Kibworth Grammar School. It's now known as Kibworth Mead Academy, but it's where the Kibworth Drama Group used to be based. And again, I've had many happy memories of productions there at the drama group. And across the road from there, you can see it from here, was an old folks home. And one particular memory that is very strong in my heart was when we did a carol concert there for help the old people. And we did it in their lounge, which meant that they had to have the television switched off, which didn't go down too well with some of the residents. And in fact, there were strong arguments between these old ladies about switching the television off to listen to some carols. So it really tested goodwill. I'm standing outside what used to be Squash Leicester. I used to play for Squash Leicester's first team, and I had some great memories of not only playing squash matches there, but also discos back in the 1970s. Now it's an events place. Standing outside 3 Meadowview OB, which is where I used to live when I split up with Angela, and I used to live in this house, just a one up, one down, and I'm just going to walk round the corner now to where my offices were, and where the offices were that gave me my first start in business. Before I walk down there, I just want to show you this. This used to be the radio and TV services. We got to know the owners of that quite well, really lovely couple with a very nice little cat. So now I'm walking down London Road, OB, and walking towards, and you see it's a very short distance to where my offices were. I'm just walking into the front door of those offices. Matt used to live in 52B London Road, and that was really just across the road from where Mass Mytek's first offices were, effectively you could say, where they were born. So I'll just hold the camera up so you can see. It was the first floor offices. We used to run our presentation services business from there. And the nice little shops along here. Most of them are new and weren't there when we first started. But I'm walking along here because on the other side of the road, number 49, in the first floor office, that's where Mass Mytek was born, and they were the offices of Venture Business Forum, and it was the owner of Venture Business Forums, John Porter, that gave me the chance to start my own business when I left IBM. And you see the first floor windows. You couldn't do it now, but I remember that we had to get a crane to load in an IBM System 34 that are used in these offices. That was quite a long time ago. I'm now in Stonygate, standing outside flat 337 Alexandra Road, which is where I first set up home with Angela. And we had the ground floor flat, and we also had a visitor from a cat in the form of a cat, which was called Smokey. We'd already got another cat called Bertie at the time, and Bertie made himself at home here. But one day I came home and I found this other black and white cat. We called him Smokey, and he used to get in through the window that I'm just passing now behind the hedge. But it's interesting how this is described now as the 37 executive penthouse. So ours was flat number 3, which was the penthouse. Some quite happy memories there of living here before we moved out to Great Glen. Just standing outside the entrance to what used to be this block of flats that I lived in, 6 Coriander Road. I was actually on the first floor, so it's the room that you can see on the first floor to my left. And yeah, I had some happy memories here, very close to De Montfort University, where I was working at the time, and very close to the canal. I used to walk along the canal, and also walk along what used to be the Great Central Railway when it went down to Marylebone. So it's in darkness now, but when we're having a production here, there's all the posters on the wall for the next production. I'm just going to walk down and then back through to the box office. This is where you come down to the bar. I see my favourite actor, Anthony Hopkins there. He's one of the patrons of the little theatre. And this is the reception area. In here is the bar. Hello, I'm just capturing walking down memory lane again, if you don't mind. I'm just recording it because I've been in many productions here over the years, and now I'm moving down to the south coast. So although I haven't been to see many productions lately, I just wanted to record some of my memories. So you very kindly let me in here to do some video recording and take some pictures. So go for it. Now I'm not sure whether I'm on any of these pictures, but if they go back a long way, I might well be. But no, it doesn't look like it. Anyway, thank you. Thank you. Now going back down to the box office, and along here you'll see, there's Karen Gordon, been in quite a number of productions with her. Oh yeah, Sue Dale, John Bale. Happiest Days of Your Life, I wasn't in that one. Darling Buds of May, I was in the previous version of that. In fact, there I am. Oh yeah, with Ma, Debbie Neath. Yeah, some fabulous memories here. It's nice to actually see a picture of me, and I remember here standing here with Dickie Attenborough when he came to announce the new stairs that were fitted, because we had a bit of a fire on stage, and I was doing being the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz. I'm just looking on here to see if there's any of the productions that I was in. I think these are probably more recent, but I'm going back through to the box office now, just to say thank you and cheerio. Yeah, wonderful. Well, at least I'm on one picture. That's wonderful. Thank you. than one picture. There's Up and Under. So I remember that one very well. Yeah. Thank you very much. I'm now at the Little Theatre in Leicester, on an empty stage. I'm in the auditorium and I can see that it's some differences between how it was when I was here. I've done many productions, been on stage in lots of shows. I've had some wonderful parts, Pop Larkin in Darling Buds of May, Last of the Red Hot Lovers, Wizard of Oz. There are so many different memories, and I'm just going to walk up on stage. It's a pity there's not a production on here at the moment, because that would be wonderful if it was. So I'm walking back. Here's where the stage manager sits. And this is where we used to go to the dressing room. Stage manager sits here. See, they've got taking it down for a production. I'm just going to walk down. Unfortunately, you can't. Oh, yes, you can. I was going to say you can't get through to where they have details of the productions and the bar, but you can now. So I'm just going to walk down there and just pause there. Now I'm in the 210 Cafe. I used to call it the 210 Cafe on Marlborough Road in Leicester. And it used to be my home after going for a walk. I used to go have wine breakfast here. I really enjoyed it. Nice to be back when I last stopped down that road.